Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
Let's get the topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
All right, everybody, what is going on? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope y'all doing good. Welcome to another new episode 27 of Project Open Mic with your boy. Put my lovely face on the screen. How y'all doing? With your boy Tig. So first of all, I wish everybody's doing well. There's been some winter weather going around, so I hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are secure, keeping warm. I could tell you about keeping warm. But anyway, tonight I got a good show for you guys. So hope you guys would jump on in, share this video with everybody else. Of course, share with your friends, family. Again, if you're on YouTube, you see the link now. You see it down there. Project Open Mic on YouTube. Again, there's more stuff gonna happen. Like I said, the end of the month's coming up, so you're gonna see some more stuff. But hey, share the video. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, make no difference to me. Hey, just get the word out there, because again, I do all this stuff for basically free. I don't monetize no videos or nothing. So hey, just as a teachable moment, just to get a reaction with most people and talk about stuff. So, like I said, again, tonight we have a good show tonight. We really do. And we're gonna be talking about what, as usual, for those who are new to the Project Open Mic, we are a topical show. Now, we'll have other shows, of course. If you go to Project Open Mic on YouTube, you're gonna see a new thing called Straight No Chases. It's a video log that I'm doing. More talk about topical stuff, not more politics or anything like that right now. Just more about issues and like relationships and stuff like that, and the relationship between men and women, black races, all this stuff. I talk about that in Straight No Chasers in that regard. And then of course we have a show called Side Chat, where a bunch of guys come through and talk about issues. Sometimes some women come through, but most of them guys. I'm hoping for more females to join in, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, as the old saying go, I already done did enough self plugs. So we're gonna get into tonight's show, which is to me, it is a doozy. Oh, tonight's show is a doozy. So let's talk about it. So tonight's show is called "They Can't Get the Toothpaste Back into the Tube." Now, I want to point this out up front again. To be, like I said, I'm a straightforward person. I just be straightforward with people. So let me just be straightforward when it comes to this. Love him or hate him, right? And a lot of people don't like President Trump. A lot of people don't like President Biden. But I'm gonna call it as what I gotta call it. But love him or hate him, yeah, he has his faults. He has his problem. He has done some stuff which I could document good, and his attitude has been bad. But there's one thing, and I do mean it. That's why I labeled the show that it is tonight. There's one thing that the former president Donald Trump did that I like. He pulled back the curtain on a lot of the mess that's in government. And Mr. President, I know people don't like it, but I'm happy that you did that. Thank you. He exposed not only the Democrats, which understandably party ain't gonna like it, but he exposed a lot on the Republicans. Thank you for doing that. also expose how the elite does their things. Remember, they couldn't buy him off. They couldn't buy President Trump off. Why? He was already rich. Technically speaking, he lost money being the president because he not only did he donated the $400,000, so he wasn't making money off of the thing off of that, which is an interesting thing I want to talk about too. But he gave the money, he donated the money away. He didn't need the money. He was rich. He didn't have no people. He didn't have nobody to give favors to. You know, so they couldn't buy him off. One, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, okay, let me see this strip. With all the stuff that's going on right now, he can't make. He making again. He literally make less money because now they take him off for social media, the giants, the Facebook, the Twitters, all this stuff, so whatever. And they try to brand his name. They can't do this. They're taking some of his golf courses off of the PGA Tour, all this. So yeah. So okay, hey, he served his country the way it is. Again, I know a lot of people don't like it that I'm saying this, but hey, I'm not gonna be coward into things. It's the truth. That's all. But again, he exposed, and that's what I like. He exposed how fake. And again, let me name him this. He's the first non-politician, non-politician and non-military person ever to run for the president from Georgia up. Everybody else been in the military or they've been a career politician. He was not that. He exposed a lot of the corruption in there, and I'm happy that he did, because right now, if you guys do not know about the story, that's what we're going to talk about, the whole thing about Wall Street and the hedge fudges and GameStop and all this nonsense. It's good. And I hope the people, I am not a financial advisor. Okay, I don't pretend to be one. I just do, like I said, I'm not even, some people will say a culture commentator. No, I'm a common sense, I'm a simple sense liberator. I literally talk simple sense to people, on most people. Thank you for those on Tempo FM. Again, we right now we're broadcasting, and we're going to expand more, but we're broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and also Tempo FM. Tempo.fm. That's really it is, because there is a Tempo FM run by MTV, and I'm not talking about that FM. I'm talking about Tempo FM that's in Europe, and broadcast to Europe. And that's why I thank you guys again for hanging with us. They're going through the usual of when I used to do a radio show called Radio T3, and that's where they gain it through. I still have the Radio T3 through them over there. So that's what they're not getting. They gain Project Over Mike through that. So again, thank you guys for having me, because I had a former radio show called Radio T3 that lasted 5 years. So yeah, but going back, and again, I like that it exposes these things, man. It's glorious. It's glorious. I like it. And I'm not gonna say I'm not a financial advisor, but I'll tell this to the people who have the stocks and whatever: do not back down from these Wall Street billionaires. Right now, they literally has cost a lot of money to these billionaires, and I'm happy. Hey, Bernie, this is the true one, not the millionaires and billionaires, as you say, Bernie. The millionaires and the billionaires, until you became a millionaire yourself and you took the millionaire part of it and just said, we got to stop the billionaires. Okay, billionaires. All right. Yeah, okay. Sure, Bern, sure. So, make sure I have my phone just to make sure nobody could interrupt what's going on. So, you guys know that I use like I said, there's a video on the channel that doesn't, on the YouTube channel that again that maybe I made one view or whatever, but again it explains how tax, the true evils of tax is. Okay, you learn how when people say, oh, we're gonna tax the rich and whatever, all these people, young kids, again, you are useful idiots, they use you guys to say, oh, tax the rich. You need to understand that video that I put on my channel. I wonder if, let me see if I can. I am going to see. Give me a second. If I could bring it up on there. Give me a second. Because I want to make sure people see it. So let me go right down. That's it right there. Just so selfish plug again before we get into this stuff. So it'll be a selfish plug. I get it. So I'm just gonna show that to you guys. But again, it's to want to help you guys out on this stuff. Okay, there you go. That is the chat. That is the channel, Project Open Mic. Again, for those who've seen it on new Facebook, again, you go there, subscribe, thumbs up, thumb down. If you want to hear the new stuff, hit the notification bell. But I could tell you the schedule again. There's gonna be a video from. Let me basically show it to you. Let me just expand it a little bit. So here we go. So if you go to the channel, you will see Andre's mic, like I showed right here. That's another person who puts up videos. You will go through here as he talks about all kind of stuff: kids, smart, intelligence, why cheating happens. Like, these are good stuff, mental stories. Go there and check it. I check it. You hear from a different perspective. I hope to get one of these to get Andre apart to do some stuff because he's a father of 5 kids, and I want to get his perspective on that. Then, of course, you're listening to Project Open Mic, that's what the show is. You go there, it's all in the playlist. You can go see there, 26, 25, 24, 23. You get the list of all that stuff. You got a side chat, which basically a bunch of us coming together. Now, let me explain out. Then you have something called Straight No Chasers, which I will put it in a straight right there. But Straight No Chasers have videos, of course, that you're going to start seeing. That's going to be going on every Tuesday. You're going to see a new video. So you'll see a video like this, which is a Straight No Chaser, which is basically I'm calling out men argue about women this, women that. But as I said in this video, men, a lot of the time, it is your fault. I call it as I see it. Then, like I said, if I use any videos less long and whatever, I put it in this called the raw file. You can go and check it and listen to it and watch it without me interrupting. And if you watch it through here, the creator who created the video, they get their monetization from this, because I don't. That's how I set it up. This channel is not monetized at all. We're not monetized. We're doing this just for teaching purposes. This is basically fair use. But again, if you want to listen to it without me cutting it, stopping it, whatever, the bigger ones, because I don't do it for all videos, but most videos like that, you go and listen to it. There you go. It's in a raw file. So you go and check that out. All right. So that's how it is. Now there's a video called The Evil Truths on Taxes. That's the video I'm talking about. You learn about taxes. You teach this to your kids and let them understand. When people are like, oh, let's raise let's tax the rich. Yeah. Corporation is the exact same thing as I said. We talk about corporation tax and tax raising and what people do when the money gets up to a certain point. Always the rich, but people need to understand, when you raise the taxes in a city, the rich can move out. I'm not really per se rich, but when negative stuff was happening in the neighborhood I was in my old house, I had enough money to move away. Poor people cannot. And then the thing is, when you tax them high enough, they're gonna get lobbyists to put in loopholes. Like I said, and people don't read the full print. I did a video about this, where New York Times put out a video saying Donald Trump paid only $750 in taxes. That was a lie. Because in that same article, if you go down to the end, they said he paid $7.4 million. Am I surprised? No. But a lot of people don't go down to the end, don't read through the whole article, whatever. I do, so I find out what's going on and stuff like that. And that's critical thinking. And that's another reason I do this show, to get people's critical thinking going. You're not going to agree with me 100%. That's why I said the whole thing about the Trump stuff before. I get that. I understand that. But I don't want you to agree with me 100%, because then you're not a free thinker. I want you to have a different concept, different thinking. Get out of the bubble. Don't stay in Facebook and see all these people saying all this stuff like that. I see people up there with Black History Month coming next month in February. People are like, oh, Austin, I forgot the guy's last name. Austin, oh, the first Black Secretary of State. Yeah, and sharing it on. Sorry. I don't care because he's Black. I care he's an incompetent person. They gave him Obama and Biden gave him $500 million to train 3,000 soldiers. And what did he did? He trained 3 people. 5 people. Sorry, 5 people. That's what he trained. Where's the rest of the money? You don't take $500 million to train 5 people. Where did the rest of the money go? And people cheering, oh yeah, he's a black man. I don't care. Never have, never will, because he was incompetent. I don't care if you're white, Hispanic, gay, lesbian, trans, whatever. I don't care for those identity things. That don't make no sense. I judge you in your character. If you're trans and you're a good builder, and you could build this house without plans and stuff, awesome. If you are a woman and you're a woman and you could fix my engine in my car have a problem better than a guy, great. I will pay you no matter what if you could do something that somebody else couldn't do. Awesome. But I don't care about the whole, first this, first that. That doesn't mean nothing to me. Not at all. The barrier for breaking the ceiling, all the ceilings, done been breaking. Don't care. But I will, like I said, get into the stuff like that. So I want to point out, like I said, the guy Evil Truth, because I used him. So I'm going to use him again because he is a tax expert and a tax lawyer, and he knows this stuff to just explain what's going on. I go explain it, but I'll let him explain it because a lot of people don't understand what hedge funds and short sales and everything is. So let's go to my friend. Let's go to my, again, the channel that he is called Minority Minds. And let me see. Nope. And then we're gonna get into the response of it. So like I said, I'm not gonna let's see what he does. But yeah.
Reddit investors from Wall Street Bets are shaking up the market and sticking it to the man by buying up stock in GameStop and AMC, and this is forcing big hedge funds to lose billions of dollars. And now you want to know what's going on, that way you don't end up on the losing end of this equation. What's up everybody, I am Dasprit Singh from the minoritymindset.com, where money minds rethink rich. Here we are, early 2021, and we're talking about GameStop and AMC booming, at least in the stock market. I can't believe I'm making this video. I've been kind of ignoring this topic, thinking it would blow over, but you really can't ignore it anymore. And so I'm not going to have a long-winded introduction. Let's just get right into what's going on. Reddit is a forum where a bunch of people can go and just talk about things. One of the sub-forums on Reddit is Wall Street Bets, where people can go and talk about things related to the stock market and Wall Street. So people have been going on Wall Street Bets talking about what stocks that they think would be a great investment. Personally, I've never been able to get into Reddit, but on Wall Street Bets, people have been kind of posting stocks that they think are good investments. They've been sharing their portfolio, and recently people have been targeting stocks that are heavily shorted. Normally, when you invest in a stock or any investment, you make money when the stock goes up. So if you buy shares of a stock,
I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. I want to bring this back a little bit. I don't mean to cut him off, but I want to say something here too. Also, I'm going to show you also how, again, the corruption is not gone just only in, again, when Trump pulled back the curtain, he didn't show just that the Democrats and Republicans and the elite. He showed how upstart people who try this, big tech, apps users, all that stuff. He showed all of them, and that's what's going on right now. All of them are like, damn it, get it back in the tube. He showed too much. He can't get it out, and I'm happy that he can't go back in, because I'm going to show you also how these big tech apps and everything. Also, once they get into the club and be chummy with the big guys and making their money, which I get, I can't fault them for that. But the problem is though, when you sell remember I tell you about music, why I don't care if I don't make as a musician myself. I am not gonna sell my soul to win a Grammy and all that stuff. I don't care. I do my music for myself. That's the reason. Some of these guys sold their souls to get chummy with them, and now it's gonna hurt. So let's get back to him. Like I said, he's gonna. I'll run it back a little bit. He's explaining how the short sale and everything is work.
Invest in a stock or any investment, you make money when the stock goes up. So if you buy shares of a stock at $100 a share and it goes up to $200 a share and you sell it, then you made $100. Mm-hmm. When you short a stock, you're betting that the stock is going to go down. So what happens now is if you short the stock at $100 a share and it goes up to $200 a share, you lost $100 a share. So when you short a stock, you want its price to go down. The way it works, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but the way it works is when you short the stock, you're not buying the stock, you're actually borrowing it and selling it. So when you short the stock at $100 a share, you're actually selling the stock at $100 a share by borrowing it first, and then you hope that the stock is going to go down in price, let's say to $50 a share, and when this happens, you end up buying the stock. So you borrow and sell it first, and then you buy it whenever you come down to end the transaction. So if the stock goes down, you make money. But if the stock goes up and then you buy, well, now you lose money because you sold it at 100, and if this price goes up to $200 a share, now you have to buy it at $200 a share, and you sold it at 100, so you lost $100 a share. The thing that makes shorting stocks so risky is there's no limit to how much money you can lose. Because if I invest $1,000 buying 10 shares of the stock, the most money I can lose is $1,000. Because if the stock price goes to zero, then I just lost all my $1,000. The stock is not going to go to a negative price. But if I short the stock, there's no limit to how much money I can lose. Because if I short the stock, I sell it at $100 a share, and it could go up to $200 a share, or $300 a share, or $400 a share. So there's no limit to how much money I can lose. And this is where things get really tricky, because now if you are shorting a stock on a brokerage and you enter into the short position at $100 a share, and now the stock goes up to $200 a share or $300 a share, you are deep in the red. You are losing a lot of money, and the brokerage can force you to now get rid of your short position, meaning they can force you to buy the stock at a huge loss, and then you have to make up that lost money. So some people on Wall Street Bets found the GameStop stock, and they found that its shares were 140% shorted. That means that more people were betting against the stock than there were even shares of the stock out there. This was something completely unheard of. And so people on Wall Street Bets thought this could be an opportunity to create a short squeeze. Now, before we get any further, you need to understand that stock market manipulation is illegal. Stock market manipulation is when you have a coordinated effort of people that are working in conjunction with one, that way you don't end up with a stock. Reasons. One, people have been micro-analysts, people who are coming onto YouTube and saying that the best stock out there is of a hedge fund together, and they get into a room and they think, you know what?
Okay, I apologize for that. I wanted to pause it, which I'm going to say is illegal, as he said. Oh, but not to the people who are well connected with government. They're not. And that's why I want to stop and show, because I will show an example of that. But again, so I apologize for that. So let me see if we can find the spots we go back with. There we go.
Squeeze. Now, before we get any further, you need to understand that stock market manipulation is illegal. Stock market manipulation is when you have a coordinated effort of people that are working in conjunction with one another to pump and dump a stock. And so this would be, you get executives of a hedge fund together, and they get into a room and they think, you know what, let's buy this stock, and we're going to run the stock up in price. And as soon
And you also know who had a lot of hedge fund friends? Hillary Clinton. A lot of them. Again, just point out facts. Back to the show.
As soon as it hits a certain price target, we're going to dump all of our stocks, and we're going to walk away with all the money, and everybody else is going to be a loser. What's going on here is a little bit different. It's just a bunch of people on a forum talking about which stocks they want to buy. I mean, it'd kind of be like me coming onto YouTube and saying that the best stock out there is Tesla, and I'm putting a bunch of my money in Tesla. That's not what I'm doing, but you essentially have these micro analysts, people who are on this forum talking about why they want to buy GameStop, and people are listening to this analyst position. The reason why people have been buying up GameStop is for a few reasons. One, people have been seeing the amount of shorting that's been going on with GameStop, and people think that if they can move the price of GameStop up, then the people that are shorting the stock will be forced to buy the stock, and this will force the price of the GameStop stock even higher. GameStop stock. Second, there is some value argument here, because some people say that GameStop has been seeing more digital sales, and this could create more potential in the future. Now, this isn't a super great argument, because GameStop is still a brick and mortar store. They've still been losing money year after year after year.
Yep.
But some people have been claiming this. And third, this is kind of a way for retail investors, regular people, amateur investors, to kind of stick it to the big dogs on Wall Street, the hedge funds, because of all the kind of resentment we've seen with hedge funds getting bailed out in 2020, hedge funds getting bailed out in 2008, but the regular people not getting anything. And so this is kind of a way for people to get their money back through the market. So people on the forum were making the argument.
Or stick it to them, because there's some people who say, I don't care that I lose money. I just want them suckers to, I just want them now. This is going to be, again, I'm going to show you how we remember we have a new president now. We have a new president. Joe Biden's our new president, and you're gonna see how Wall Street and big businesses how they manipulate as well too. Sucks.
They were investing in and putting their money in GameStop. You saw this new trend of people calling a YOLO portfolio, the you only live once portfolio, where people were putting all their money, $10,000 or $100,000 or even $500,000 all into the GameStop stock because they believed that GameStop would go up in the future. Then this kind of excitement got more people excited about investing in GameStop, especially because the stock was so beaten and down, so more people started to buy it, and so the price started to kind of trickle upwards. Once the price started to trickle upwards, that's when more people started buying, and that's when the short sellers, you had all these people that were shorting the GameStop stock, these people were starting to get stuck because they were betting on the stock going down. And you had these major hedge funds betting on GameStop going down, but now the GameStop price is going up because you had all these people on Reddit and Wall Street bets buying up the stock, and now the stock is going up and hedge funds are losing money, and some of these hedge funds started closing their positions, so they were forced to buy the stock at a higher price than what they sold it for. And so now you have more buyers coming in, and this pushed the GameStop stock even higher. In the beginning of 2021, the GameStop stock was selling for below $18 a share. But at the time when we were recording this video, January 27th, the GameStop stock was around $320 a share. We're talking about a 1,700% price growth in just a few weeks. The retail traders, the amateur traders that came in and bought up the stock were making a killing. I mean, some people were making millions of dollars, and the people that lost everything were the big hedge funds and the people that were shorting the stock. Like this company, Melvin Capital Management, had a big short position in GameStop, and by January 25th, they had lost 50% of their value. Not just 50% of the value of their short position in GameStop, but 50% of their entire company's value. They had lost 50% of their assets under management, and so other companies came in, other investment firms came in, and they started buying up shares of Melvin Capital Management. That way they don't go under. And so now you have these other hedge funds coming in, buying up other hedge funds for pennies on the dollar because they are losing everything on this GameStop short. And then if that wasn't enough, Elon Musk came out and he tweeted GameStocks, and that single tweet helped the GameStop stock go up by another 100% or so on January 27th.
I like it. I like it.
Has gotten in his own fair share of trouble tweeting about the Tesla stock, and that has cost him millions of dollars. I think he was fined like $20 million when he did that. So he is not scared to say what he feels, but this is the environment that we're in. People that were on Wall Street bets, people that were reading these Reddit forums came in, they bought up the stock, they're making millions while the big dogs are losing everything. We just saw the exact same thing happen with AMC. AMC had a huge short position. People on Wall Street bets and Reddit started talking about AMC, and then people started buying up the AMC stock. It went up hundreds of percent in just one day, and now all the people shorting the stock were forced to cover their short, and they were forced to buy the stock at a huge loss. And so you had these major money management firms losing millions and millions and millions, if not billions of dollars, and you have the retail traders making a ton of money off.
And I'll get you to how many money the billionaires lost, but I'll get that.
Off of it. The higher these stock prices go, the more these short sellers lose money, and the more short sellers that are forced to cover their short by buying the stock, and this puts even more buyers into the market, causing the price of these stocks to go up even more. It's gotten so bad that now you have brokerage accounts like TD Ameritrade restricting trading of GameStop to certain users, because the last thing that they want is for this bubble to burst, and now people losing a ton of money, and now they're coming after not just GameStop, but now they're coming after the brokerage account like TD Ameritrade, saying, what happened to all of my money? So that's what's going on. Now let's get into what you need to understand and how you can actually protect your wallet. What I love is I love the fact that we have a ton of young people and new investors and traders coming into the market and getting excited about the stock market. I love that. I also love that people are making money. We have a ton of young people making hundreds of thousands of dollars just by trading stocks. That's amazing. And it's also pretty cool that people have been able to stick it to Wall Street because they feel like they've been left out while Wall Street has been getting these billions of dollars worth of bailouts. Here's where the issue is. when people don't know what they're doing, or they're investing money based off of hope and speculation, and then you start to see this euphoria because everybody thinks that the market and this game can only go up and you can only make money, and then you start leveraging up your bets with margin and debt, and you start refinancing your home to go all in. That way you can make a whole bunch of money and get rich very quickly. That's where you see issues happen. The one thing in common with every single financial bubble that has ever burst in history is euphoria. When people start buying an asset, not because they believe in the value of the asset itself, but just because they want to get rich quick, that's how you start creating a bubble, because people are buying it just with the hopes of getting rich, and so people start buying at unreasonable prices. And then when you leverage that up with easy debt, like margin at low interest rates, now you can create the bubble a whole lot bigger, because people are buying not because they care about the asset, not because they care about the stock, not because they care about the underlying value, but all they care about is getting rich quick.
Human nature. I always argue from that point. Human nature. Come on.
Because they think that their system, their game, their investment cannot go down because all they see is it going up. Even in the social media, influencer, YouTube game, we have this whole new influx of people who have made their first $100,000, and they're showing off how to invest in stocks, how to trade in stocks, just showing these risky trades, hoping that you can get rich quick. It is not sustainable to make 1,000% returns every single year. Okay, and so if people are making $100,000, great. But if $100,000 is all you ever made, and now you're showing people how to do the same risky thing as you, now you're creating more kind of derivatives of how to invest in these risky assets, and now you have more and more people buying into this risky investing game, and eventually, as people start to get that taste of success, they start to leverage up their bets, because now you think, wow, I'm an expert investor. I made $10,000, I made $100,000, and now you start leveraging up your bets.
You got lucky.
You think, what if I can turn this $100,000 into $500,000? So now you start to leverage
You got
it up,
lucky.
you start making more risky bets, and eventually, once the money starts to fade away, that's when the whole system starts to crumble. If you made a lot of money, great. If you saw a 1,000% return, even better. I am happy for you. I'm glad you were able to make that money. But now, as you're starting to make this money, I want you to be logical here for a second and understand what you have done. This is not sustainable. It is not sustainable to make a 1,000% return on every single stock. It is not sustainable to see 100% returns in a day in a stock. There's a lot of money floating around out there. I mean,
I'll like I said, I'll put again the minority. Like I said, you guys could go and check it. This is the minority mindset. Like I said, respect Mr. Singh on his stuff. I just wanted to point that out so you guys understand what's going on with this. Now, he didn't get into that part. Maybe he did later on in the video, but I want to just go further into this and show you how this conundrum is. Like I said, I don't look at it as the market, as he said. I get where he's coming from, and I respect him on that. No, for that, I'm happy that you make your money, that's good, and I'm happy that he points that out. But I like this because it's sticking it to the damn people who always rip people off. The ones that, the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders, the millionaires and billionaires, like I said, and I was like, oh, we're going to do. Yeah, but not Bernie Sanders per se. I'll give him that. I call it as I see it. But the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, all that, they're buddies with these people. They're buddies with them. And they don't get, again, that's why I said, that's why in my first Strain No Chasers, you see, why I'm like, am I surprised Biden win? No, because you had Wall Street, you had newspaper, you had media, you have Hollywood, you have all these companies trying to stop one person. So right now, a lot of people are honest, not that, but I want a person to have pulled the curtain on all that stuff, and I'm happy he did, because look, you're gonna see what it is. Let me show you now how. Again, now you're gonna see how Wall Street. Not Wall Street. Again, you're going to see how they're going to be. Let me get it on the screen. Now you're going to see how government going to, remember, this is not the Trump administration. This is the Biden administration. We're going to see how they going to do. So, again, not a fan of the Hill 100%. But you know what? Unlike other people, I listen to people who I don't who I don't agree with a lot of time. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. Yeah, you gotta listen to different things. Don't stay in a bubble. Listen to things. But hey, I agree with this. I agree with these guys right here. So
that's excited me in a long time, covering the pandemic and Trump and stop.
And we're gonna see. Remember, we're gonna see how the media now is gonna ask the heads of the Wall Street to talk to Joe Biden and the others to do regulations so people can't ever do this again, and they could protect their money up there in the top 10, in the top 1%. Again, rich people have more influences than people always talk about. Oh, just tax the rich. You need to broaden that tax base, because the rich will be smart and they will create more laws. That's why the tax plan has passed 70,000 pages of tax plan. Why? Because as you saw when Singh did it, if you go back to the video I showed you before, Singh had a book. The book was bigger, like 3 times bigger than the dang Bible. That's how crazy it is. But again, let's just listen in.
And Capitol riots and the Biden presidency, it's been a real bummer. And I have not felt a pep in my step like this in many months, and it is now thanks to a bunch of Redditors going after the people I despise the most in our society, speculators on Wall Street. By now, I'm sure that you're all familiar with the story. Hedge funds and billionaires took out a massive short position on the company called GameStop. A band of Redditors on a subreddit called Wall Street Bets called their bluff, drove the stock up to the tune of thousands of percentile more to force those hedge funds to liquidate billions of dollars in losses, while the merry band of Redditors gets rich. It's the ultimate David and Goliath story. Underemployed and unemployed, sitting at home in their pajamas, using the power of the internet and new trading platforms like Robinhood to destroy the kings of American finance. We are never going to go back to the old ways of doing business, and Wall Street knows this. So what's their solution? It's one that we, my friends, must resist absolutely at all costs. Now they know that they do not have a monopoly on manipulating the market. They are going to do everything in their power to go after you and people like me who are not on the side of the billionaire elite.
And remember, Singh said manipulation is illegal. Now remember, that's what they say.
As I laid out yesterday, they are already going into overdrive on CNBC, who started off yesterday by inviting the literal CEO of the NASDAQ on to call for more regulation. Let's take a listen to that again.
One of the things that we're talking about is maybe misinformation and pump and dumps, and it's occurring on social media again. It just, I'm wondering whether it's part of the same problem, the type of regulation that we finally need to consider. And like I said, we should always have a light touch with regulation, but
light touch.
You're seeing the way things can get started. Again, this is different. Maybe it's Reddit, maybe it's not Facebook, but you're seeing the same situation. At this point, it's not about an election. It's not about an insurrection, but there are interesting things happening that seem to be spawned to some extent, or at least blown out of proportion by social media again. Adina.
Well, I do think, though, that as we look at these new technologies that are there available to everyone, including investors, I think it's also important for regulators to understand that, manipulation is manipulation, whether it's happening through a new technology medium or it's happening through traditional mail. So I think it's just a matter of making sure that we understand what the behavior is, what's underpinning the behavior, and working appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation.
And remember, and look what you just saw. For all the people I was talking about, oh, women can't. Who's in charge of the NASDAQ? Let's rewind back a little bit. Who's in charge of the NASDAQ? NASDAQ president and CEO are female. So don't give me that nonsense. Oh, women, yes, they can. And you got to suck it up, buttercup. She did. She made it up there. And I'm proud that she did it up there. But I guarantee you, she's a part of the cronyism as well. Government. Let's suck up to them
appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. The guy from CNBC who hates regulation is now calling for more regulation. And the CEO of the head of one of the largest trading exchanges in the world is agreeing with him. Notice, when hedge funds manipulate markets, when they screw over regular people in different companies, when Wall Street requires billions of dollars in bailouts and floats from the Federal Reserve, there isn't any call for more regulation. But a couple of average Joes on the internet make money at the expense of a billionaire hedge fund. Well, that just can't stand. And I'm not exaggerating here, just showing you one clip. The idea across the American elite right now is that what has happened with GameStop is unacceptable. Don't believe me? Check this out. As GameStop and other stocks soared, Arthur Levitt Jr., he decided to weigh in. And if you don't know who that is, it's the former SEC chairman who literally presided over the dot-com bubble and was appointed by Bill Clinton, who perhaps more than any president is responsible for much of the financialization of our economy beginning in his administration.
And also caused the housing market crash of 2008. That's, again, facts. Just telling you that. Again, nobody want to talk about this stuff. Oh, the people didn't understand the loans and all this. No, look what Bill Clinton did with Fannie and Freddie Mac, and you see how that worked out. And don't get me twisted. The Republicans had a problem in that too, because Bush could have stopped it, but because his friends was making money, they were making that cheddar, he let it go as well too. And then with the bubble pop, well, we see what happened. So Clinton started it, Bush let it go, and we felt the pain as regular people.
Levitt wrote an op-ed in Bloomberg calling for a full agency investigation into online stock trading platforms.
Oh, really?
And said that social media is taking advantage of users' behavioral psychology and pushing them into dangerous territory. Okay.
Whoa, really? But then when they were censoring, the former president and all the other stuff and banning people and all that thing, oh, that's all good because you know what, that's all great. You don't like the censorship unless it's your type of censorship. Don't you just love how people just full hypocrites?
Okay, maybe. I don't even really disagree with that. But doesn't it just tell you everything? That this is what they want to investigate now? That this is what they want the government to do something about now? Don't underestimate how mainstream this view is. Yesterday, the White House press secretary said Janet Yellen is, quote, monitoring the situation. Elizabeth Warren tweeted out that we needed more regulation.
You need more regulation to make more money, of course. Let's not forget the SEC. They're supposed to be the government watchdog to watch over stuff like that. Did they watch over the housing bubble break? Nope. Why? Go back and find out some of the reports. A lot of them were just sitting on the computer, just watching stuff. Some were watching porn while at work, doing nothing. Just coming to work, punching in. Let me watch something, man. 8 hours, punch out, get in a check. That's all they were doing.
The state securities regulator for the state of Massachusetts said GameStop trading should be halted for 30 days. And the SEC now says they're working with regulators to assess the situation, review the activities, and other participants. Like I said, hey, maybe that's justified, but you people are silent on the crimes of the actually influential people who rig our economy on a daily basis. You want a near-perfect corollary? Billionaire investor Bill Ackman. He went on CNBC in March 2020 to give an emotional interview to say hell is coming and that hotel stocks would go to zero. His interview sparked a panic sell on Wall Street. It is seen in retrospect as one of the precipitating events of that drop. Guess what? At the exact same time, right after that interview, Ackman was buying billions of dollars in the stock as it hit rock bottom. In fact, he pocketed $2 billion in bets against the market as it was crashing. It was a crash that he helped spawn through his influence, through his media appearance. Call me when the SEC and the media and others actually get upset about that. When Ackman got some bad press, but he still got billions in the bank.
Also, let me throw another name that you might need to know about. The mayor of New York, Mr. de Blasio, did the exact same thing. And because he's a governor, he could do it. And he used it with taxpayers' money. He bought up hotels and stuff like that. And when they start to go back, I know for sure he's going to sell it back to the government at a high cost. So he didn't use his money to buy the hotels and stuff. He used taxpayers' money, and he's going to sell it, and he's going to pocket it himself. Despicable these people are. But again, I'm with him. Again, I don't agree with him 100% either, but I'm with him.
Government does anything about behavior like that happens every single day on the street. Here's the other thing. The elites control the institutions. When millions of people woke up and they saw this story and they checked Wall Street Bets on Reddit, they decided, hey, you know what? I want in. And so they decided to try. And the companies themselves decided that they know better. At one point, Robinhood, E-Trade, and TD Ameritrade were all down as the market opened. But TD Ameritrade actually went further than anyone. They decided, you know what? These idiots don't know anything. They decided to block their own customers from trading stocks that were popular on Reddit. Once again, maybe this is justifiable. When's the last time a major trading exchange or a regulatory body or anyone blocked billionaires from executing their crazy gambling schemes? Never. Not once, because they own the exchanges. They reign supreme because they literally control everything. And it turns out that was the beginning of elite collusion. Later in the day, the site Discord, which...
And here we go into the other part now. These are the other apps and all the other stuff. Big tech is its own problem. Now you see what I was talking about. As you see up there, now this Discord banned the Wall Street Bet service over hate speech. They never did no hate speech. But again, this is one of the reasons why I don't, when people's like talk about, hate speech is free speech. It's, as they say, people will say that, because here's the problem. Who decide what is hate speech? That's my problem. Who decide who's offended? Oh, I'm offended. Shut up. Put up your pants and britches if you're female or whatever, and suck it up, buttercup. Both females and female. That's why I don't like when people that talk about the hate speech stuff. Because again, it's the same thing I said with the AI. Like if we ever have AI, people are like, oh, well, if the AI ever gets, I talked about it last time. But if the AI, whose morals are you putting inside of the machine? Whose morals are you putting in the AI? Because I can guarantee you, there's a lot of people who would never want my morals in it. Just be honest, I get it. And there's a lot of people I would never want their morals in it. So that's why I don't, that speech thing, you do not know who controls it. That's why it should be free. Just is what it is. But again, here's a company who I would never thought would do something, but they found a loophole to do something because all it was doing was talking about making money and whatever. And they said, and here, look at the bottom. Discord said it did not ban a server due to financial fraud. Really? Okay.
The private chat servers took down Wall Street Bet's chat forum, claiming that they had violated the terms of service for reasons other than their content, claiming that it had something hateful on there. And then the motherlode, Wall Street Bet subreddit itself had to take itself private, at least for a short period yesterday, presumably because of threats from the site's admins that they would be unable to moderate the content without running afoul of platform policy. This is oligarchy, using government private company control to enforce policies which benefit only the elites at the top. It's never been more naked. The good news is that this is just the beginning.
And also, let me help people understand this. This is what we call, as you say, oligarchy, true, and crony capitalism. This is not capitalism. This is not the free market trade. This is crony capitalism. This is people who gain the backs off of capitalism and they're like, oh, that's all great. Then once they get to the power, as you saw with the MSNBC person, hey, let me get a little regulation here. Let me do this right here. If you want to, I talked about this again in another video past Project Open Mic when we're talking about the whole reparations stuff like that, and in Asheville, and the guy was like, "We're gonna check into this reparation." How about you deregulate the system? So if a person want to cut hair, they can cut hair. Why we gotta go through a school, pay thousands of dollars to go to school to cut hair or to wash a person's hair? It's stupid. That's what, because once the people get in the power, hey, we don't want no more barbershops. Hey, we don't want no taxis. We don't want no more vans. That's why in California, they basically ban a lot of Uber stuff because we don't want a lot of competition in taxi people. That's how it works. That's crony capitalism. That's not capitalism. Free market is what it should be, but that's how it works.
Google decentralization. Google democratization of finance. The internet showed us the way, and we can follow it all. And that's the thing, Crystal, which is that, okay, yeah, the SEC, is this all good for society? No, it's not. Speculation is bad. But these people have been speculators, and for so long. And if speculators are going to be legal, if it's all going to be legal, then why shouldn't at least the people at the bottom, the little people, actually be able to do it too? But now the SEC is getting involved. They said they're monitoring the situation. The former chairman who presided over the financialization of our economy is like, whoa, you got to investigate this. Everybody on CNBC is calling for regulation. Discord just deplatforms the entire website. Now Robinhood says you can't buy, AMC stock. We'll only allow you to sell it. I mean, there are just TD Ameritrade is jumping in for the good of their customers and all of that.
So noble.
Exactly. Where were you? What were you people? Where's the NASDAQ CEO when her exchange is used on a daily basis with high frequency trading, which has flash crashed our markets? I don't even know how many times. They don't care. That's all good because they make money on the exchange.
Well, and because those are their people.
That's the thing.
Their class.
They would go bankrupt if they actually did that. When Bill Ackman's scheme, which it's pretty obvious to me, gets investigated by the SEC, you can call me. You can go after the Redditors.
Yeah.
Until then, I don't want to hear it. When is Bloomberg chat going to take down, because on the Bloomberg terminals, it's called IB chat. They can all talk to each other. When they take down the chats and they start monitoring there of all the insider trading and all of the collusion that's happening on a daily basis between the ultra rich, then you can take down the Discord server.
I've heard there's some hateful speech on there, Saturday.
I've heard
we're gonna
the
have to look
same
into
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was maybe the most egregious. I know there were a lot of egregious moments, but when Discord put out, this has nothing to do with GameStop, there's just some naughty language on there we've got to deal with. It's like, oh, really? It's just a pure coincidence that on the day that they're screwing over Wall Street and actually forcing these elites to take it on the chin, that's when you decide to get serious about content moderation. Okay, sure, whatever. But also, think about how this all started and why they decided to go in on GameStop to start with. It's because the hedge funders had shorted 140% of GameStop's stock.
Yeah.
Where's the regulation about that?
Yeah.
Why is that legal? I mean, if you're going to talk about, oh, we need regulation, how come no one in this elite class is mentioning, like, maybe that's not like a really super smart thing to do. Maybe that's not something that should be ultimately legal. Now, I will say, I would bet that these hedge funds think twice about taking those super ultra aggressive positions again because they want to avoid exactly this situation again.
I don't think so.
I think they'll feel like, I do. I actually think it will curb their behavior on the margins because they don't want to be the ones that are all in on, 140% of shorting a company's stock. Like, that was over the top, greedy, and egregious. And that's what made them a target ultimately. Where's the talk of like regulation around that? I didn't hear a word about that yesterday whatsoever.
Melvin Capital required a $3 billion infusion of cash. Now, they say they closed out their position. I don't know if that's true or not. But, I mean, back of the napkin math shows that they maybe lost $10 billion. $10 billion. That's real money. That could actually help people.
Okay. You heard it. I'm just saying, but I also want to play another clip from them too, because here's the thing. Remember, inside trading is illegal. For me and you, it's illegal. For the government and the elites, remember when in North Carolina there was a senator, I forgot his name. Dang it. But in North Carolina, this senator, he bought up a lot of stocks when he was a part of the meeting about what's going to happen with COVID. He made billions. I think it'd be a billion or something like that. He made a lot of money. He's a Republican. Despicable. Disgusting. He did not win re-election, thank goodness. But still, it's just despicable. He took his money and run, just like most people do. They take their money and run because they know when the thing. That's why when in 2018, I'll say that I'll say multiple times, of course, after this, but I'll say this right now. When people thought, oh, the Democrats won the 2018 election the reason why they got the power back is because a lot of Republicans who didn't like Donald Trump, not because of people always say, oh, not because he's adulterous and he's blah, blah, blah. You know why they didn't like him? because he was messing up the apple cart. He pulled the machine and make sure they weren't getting money. So they took their money and run. They're like, oh, I'm not supporting it. They came with all kind of BS stuff to say what they got to say. They lied. They took their money and run. And once they did that, who's going to contest it? Nobody's going to contest because the Democrats won that seat because there was no Republican to go against. That's how they won. It was not because the people choose to go with this. No, because they know they know that the president at the time was not going to go with their cockamamie schemes. And let me hear again. Remember, Martha Stewart went to jail because of this inside training. Remember, regular person, whatever. She didn't have no cover, but she went to jail. Let me make an example out of Martha Stewart. Nancy Pelosi. Let's listen to Nancy. Let's listen to what just happened just a while ago. This ain't the first time they've done this. It's done this multiple times. They did it with GE when they passed that stupid bill about you need to stop. We need to start to make again free market. Let's stop making these incandescent bulbs. And they know about it. They know the bill, and they know the bill. So what they did, they bought all the stocks of this so they could make tons of money. So this ain't the first, not the second, not the third, and the fourth. Hell, on the same trade with the same thing with Dianne Feinstein did when last year when she, I didn't know the stock would be this, whatever, but you bought it. Now it's true of mutual funds, so I get that. That one was not bad, but this one right here,
Some lawmakers looking a little bit more like money makers these days. There, Senator Dianne Feinstein didn't report her husband's stock purchase in a timely manner, says that she is willing to pay a fine over that failure.
Well, of course she's willing to pay a fine. She's what? Look, this woman is 87 years old. How rich do you want to be? And she has already filed to go to run for re-election when she's 90, if she lives to be 90. She lives to be 90. She said, I still want to be a senator. She had a problem. She was like, we love the Chinese, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out her chauffeur was a Chinese spy. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. You just cannot. Of course, she'd have no problem paying the fine. The fine ain't going to be enough for her. Hell, I doubt she'd even really pay the fine.
And a move Speaker Pelosi made is also sounding some alarms. Pelosi or her husband bought $1 million worth of Tesla stock. Now, here's the catch. She is working to pass Biden's clean energy initiatives, which includes subsidies for electric cars. So she now stands to potentially directly benefit.
Interesting. Do we smell some conflict of interest here? Democratic strategy.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go through all this because this is gonna be the usual turning story and all that stuff. I just wanted to give you the facts part of it because I saw a little bit of this. It's like, what? Stop spinning the news. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. She know what she did. She bought the stocks. That's the same thing with her husband. That's the same thing she did with GE when it came to the light bulbs. So don't give me that nonsense. Okay? Look, let me give you this straight, and let me add to this as well too. All right? Hold the line, guys. Like I said, anybody who bought the stocks, whatever, hold it out. Right now, at this point, the hedge funds, a lot of the hedge funds has lost $70 billion. 70 billion. Stick it to them bastards. But anyway, $7 billion. Yeah. Because, again, to be honest, GameStop, not the best, I'm going to say the best company, and they're going to go away because of, again, like the new console that just came out. Apologize for that. The new console just came out. Let me see if I could, I do want to show something as well, too. Put it on, I wonder if I could find it. I'm sorry for the dead air. Just want to make sure I find the right thing. Didn't find it there. Let me see if I could find it. Little back there, because I know I did it just recently. Nope. Can't find that video. I want to use that video for something, but I can't. Look like I can't find the exact video that I want. So okay, I'll just have to use. Let me see if this one should have at least. It has a little bit of it, so I'll show it. I'll show this. So I apologize for the dead air in that regard. That's on me. This right here is my collection. Just plain just to show you. So GameStop is a physical store, whatever. With the new consoles coming out, look, I'm a gamer, all right, and I'll say this to people. I'm 38 years old. I might sooner or later I will bow out of buying video games. Why? Because it's the same thing why I'm buying a lot of movies now, because of physical media. Everybody's trying to go digital. Here's a problem. When digital, you don't own nothing and you can't do nothing. As you can see right there, I buy backup systems just in case, stuff. Because GameStop is sucking it right now. They don't have, all these people going, because if you buy a disc today, even though you go PlayStation 5, you got a disc. It's a key. It's not even the game is not on the disc. Tony Hawk 5 that just came out. All that's on the disc is what the tutorials. That's it. You still have to download 500 whatever. So if the server's gone, you ain't have nothing, and the servers will shut down. So this is what making GameStop irrelevant right now. That's why people are whatever. I will always buy my physical. See all this stuff that you see here. I could put it in my system. I ain't gotta worry about no downloading, no problem or whatever. It could play without no if, ands, or buts. So GameStop is going to go down and fail. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. I don't know. They still have enough physical media to think, and that's why I'm showing in this right here. But I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this situation because news media is I like it. Because it's messing up with people. It's messing with people's these rich people who do as you just saw. They have their collusion. They have their situation as well too. So now let's go into priceless. Let's make the transition, shall we? We're gonna make the transition over now to. I'm gonna make the transition over to now the administration. This is a good little transition to the administration. Okay, this is a good little transmission. I like this. So of course they asked Jen Psaki, who's the Secretary of Press, about this, which the media didn't explain it well to. Journalism sucks now. I'm saying seriously, you got to use independent people to find the real things. That again, like I'm doing or whatever, it sucks. But let's hear this. You would think you'll get a nice answer, right? Let's hope.
Market activity we're seeing around GameStop, and now with some other stocks as well, including the subsidiary or whatever, the company that was Blockbuster. And have there been any conversations with the SEC?
What the heck? That was like Blockbuster. See, that was saying journalism sucks.
About how to proceed.
Well, I'm also happy to repeat that we have the first female Treasury Secretary and a team that's surrounding her, and often questions about market we'll send to them. But our team is, of course, our economic team, including Secretary Yellen and others, are monitoring the situation. It's a good reminder, though, that the stock market isn't the only measure of the health of our economy. It doesn't reflect how working and middle-class families are doing. As you all know from covering this, we're in the midst of a K-shaped recovery. America's workers are struggling to make ends meet, which is why the president has introduced this urgent package to get.
That's not an answer. That is not an answer. That's fluffing and bull crap. That's not what a woman asks. And that's not what she's giving. She's not giving an answer to that. That's BS right there. We have the first. Why are you repeating that? That's not what she asks. I give a rat's butt if it's the first woman. I don't care. What are you going to do? Oh, nothing. Just psycho talking. Jeez. That's why I said I don't care about the thing. We just saw a woman, a powerful woman in charge. I don't want to hear this nonsense about women making. No, you can't do that. I have a sister. I will coach any female. If you want to put in the time, go get it. But don't give me no excuses. If you fail, you fail. Just like if I do try to go fail. It is what it is in that regard. So we're going to go to now. And then I want to go to another, like I said, we transfer it over. So Biden, yeah. I'll leave the video at the end so you guys can catch it up. But Biden has the most executive orders for the first executive orders as a president. Okay, again, I'll say this. I'm going to keep my stance and keep my thing as I tell people. I don't tell people who to vote for. You vote who you want to vote for. Issues are different because you pros and cons. A person could change. I don't tell people to vote for. You vote for who you want to vote for. That's not my call, and I will stick by that stance anyway, all times. But again, I point out some stuff that people need to understand, and I'll go back and see past videos if you don't believe what I say. I'm saying this because I've said it. I didn't like when Trump did it. I didn't like when Obama did it. I didn't like it. Okay, I didn't like, and I'm not gonna like it. That I've said it back in the previous shows. I've said we need to stop doing these executive orders unless it's a true emergency. These stuff that he cited are not true emergencies. They're crap. They're literally crap. And same thing go with Trump as well too. He signed some of them crap. The one about banning the people for the that coming over from China and all this stuff with the virus and everything, that made sense. Why? Because Obama did the exact same thing with the Zika virus, which also made sense. It made sense. Those are what executive order is supposed to be about. Not this nonsense that him, Obama, Trump, Bush, Clinton, all them did. This needs to stop. It just needs to stop. Really does. Because it's no nonsense. And again, the next president, if he's not a Democrat, who gets in there, is going to reverse this stuff. So we're going to go back, forth. That's not how to rule a freaking country. It's not. But I'm going to use MSNBC. I'm going to use NBC News to go through his stuff. And I'll play you some. I'm going to show you, again, y'all don't listen. Some people didn't listen. But because, stop the man. He's already done said that he's not going to do a lot of stuff and the tweeting and stuff. You went from the most secretive president to the most openest president, good or bad, open president, transparency, back, and then we're going back to a secretive president. Biden could never say, "Oh, we were transparent." He can never say that because he already done stuff that's not transparent, of course. But let's go through what he signed. Some of the stuff he signed, I don't have a problem with. I just don't like the executive orders, period. Unless it is a emergency. But other than that, no. This again, I'm gonna call it as is. I'll be honest with as honest in saying my stuff. Because people just they like to be in their bubbles. You want to be in your bubble, okay? And this ain't gonna hurt nobody. This ain't gonna do. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let's go with this now. Let me show you. Like I said, in the first week, he has signed more executive orders than any president. Man, move that up. I'm good about it. But let's go through some of this. All right. Day one, mandatory freeze approval of rules passed on the final days of the Trump presidency. Okay, whatever. That's political. That don't mean nothing really to me. Stupid. Executive order to rejoin the Paris Accord agreement climate change, which is asinine. But we're going to let me help people. People will say, well, this is fulfilling his campaign promise and committing to put his back in the agreement, which is the agreement is nothing. There's a go to UN and read the Paris Accord. People don't do that. I will do a video about it later on. Come here. But go to the Paris Accord. Go to YouTube and go to the UN's Paris Accord video. It states nothing. It's just blah, 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 climate, blah, 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 blah. What we going to do? Blah, 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 nothing. Ain't doing nothing. It's just ways to get money from us to give money to all countries all over the place. It doesn't state nothing. Go and watch it yourself if you don't believe me. Go and read it yourself if you don't believe me. Stupid. Executive order to promote racial equality. You can't do that, but because we already have a law that's already in there from the 1962 Equality Act. But again, he's doing something that's already a law in the book that don't mean nothing. Proclaiming ending ban on U.S. military from major Muslim countries. Okay. Yeah. Ordering plans. So let's read it. So Biden proclaimed reverse Trump's policies on the BART entry to the U.S. refugees and residents from 7 predominantly Muslim countries in order plans within 45 days to resume visa process. Did you know what? And here's the funny thing. The same countries that he just reversed were the same countries Obama put on too. Funny over that. That ban and everything, Trump messed up with the wording. That's his mistake, and that's what he did. Obama had those same countries. So did Bush. So did Clinton. They just continued. Now he reversed it, but he had no problem with it when he's Obama's vice president. Funny how that works, don't it? Executive order to create a wearing mask on federal property. We already know the joke about it. He encouraged it, and he already broke his own rules already. Rules for thee, not for me. Not surprised. Executive order of coordinating government-wide COVID response. That continuing the same policies, so it's just bibble babble really. Executive order reserving immigration enforcement policies, revoking the Trump era policies that crack down on communities shielding undocumented immigrants from deportation. Biden vow to protect national border security and address the humanitarian challenges at the southern border. Okay, this is a contradiction to this. Okay? If you want to protect your borders, you protect your borders. Remember, when COVID kicked in hard and strong, what did Mexico do? Oh, they put up borders and say, hey, no Americans come here. We don't want the... This is what you're supposed to do. That now was one of Trump's executive orders to stop that. That makes sense. You don't want this virus spreading. But that one, no. We're going to retrieve it. Okay. Second order, undoing regulatory reaction with federal agencies. Yep, that one is crazy because they're going to put back in that whole stupid thing. We force it in the key. Well, like I said, some of these you're going to see in a video in a little while where I'm going to show you how he's being what he is. And that's why I said Biden being Biden, because he's been in government for 47 years. He has a long history of look at what he has done. Nothing. And you think he's going to do something now. This one, sorry if I spiked the mic, sorry. Executive order on discriminating on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation. In the move lauded by the LGBTQ advocates, which is a small community and also a small fraction of advocates, Biden order will extend federal non-discretion protection to members of the LGBT community, building off of the landmark Supreme Court decision, Bostock versus County, which it's one of those things, just like Roe v. Wade, that was not what it was intended to do, and they interpreted and flipped it the messed up way, which is stuck. Last year, expanding the discrimination agency for the agent, including sexual orientation, gender, and all that stuff. I want to show you a clip on that because, again, you will say, oh, we want to fight for the females. That right there just hurt females. If females don't understand that. And again, you'll see what I'm talking about. Ethics and pledging of government appointees. That's stupid. It's already into the thing. Stop the funds from the border wall, which I feel is a dumb thing as well too. But hey, executive order on pausing student loans. I'm not against that. The problem is though, again, it's the government who made the student loans expensive. A lot of people don't understand that. It was the government, and mostly Democrats, who made the student loans way bigger than it needs to be. But nobody wants to talk. Again, nobody wants to talk about that. We're $1.3 trillion in student loan debt. There's a way to fix this. One, get the government out of the daggone loan securities. Okay, that's why these colleges do all these crazy endowments and stuff like that. 1, 2, freeze the percentage rate. You know what? Not even freeze. Do 1% or do 0.5% percentage rate. All right, because right now, do it at that low and leave it at that, and let everybody who's paying right now pay the loan, pay it down at that low rate. You could do it at 0 if you want to pay back the money back. I have a problem with doing just 0. Excuse me. You know what? I don't have a problem if you do 0. That'd be way. Yeah, just freeze it at 0 to the term of everybody else. But you got to get the government out first, then freeze it. Then I have no problem with that, because a lot of people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to be a gender studies person, which is irrelevant in the world. Nobody needs that. It's crazy. I'm not against this one. I'm just saying there's a better way to do it, but Congress don't want to do their freaking jobs. A moratorium state deferred and enforced departure for Liberians. For Liberian refugees. Yeah, because you caused the war in there. And so now you want to get them. Obama caused the war in Liberia, but nobody want to talk about that again. Shrinking deferred Trifle Act. Well, here's funny enough. Biden reaffirmed the ending of Obama era program. He didn't end it. He tried to make it better, and the Democrats blocked it. But again, nobody gonna talk about this stuff. It's funny how that works out, Day 2. Shoot, I'm only on day 2. Look how much orders he already done signed. COVID. I don't care for that stuff. Support states, National Guards, and COVID response. COVID. Surprise stuff. All this stuff was also signed by Trump, but people gonna they're gonna say the news they ain't gonna let that whatever. No, it don't be signed by Trump. Work, pandemic, COVID. Second over for student assistance programs, increasing 15% supplemental, whatever, snaps. That's gonna backfire, but people don't want to get existing order assisting veterans with their debt. I have no problem with this one. I don't. That one is, hey, you serve. You should not be, spread over death, but put your life on the line. I have no problem against that one. Again, remember back when he was vice president, he didn't say nothing like this. And then again, it was Trump, the one who came in and literally fired some of the people who did horrible stuff to the veterans themselves in the VA. But nobody talks about this stuff. Let's see, COVID, blah, 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 all the established benefits and terms. My order established network benefits for delivery teams, which basically goes to what, of course, is Amazon and UPS, whatever. Again, corporations get what they got to get. Executive order facilitating the delivery stimulus payments. Biden order requests the Treasury Department to consider taking a series of action to expand and improve delivery. Direct stimulus payments, including the creation of an online tool for recipients to claim that they already have it. It's in irs.gov. You can go there right now. Now because it's there, but you could go back then. That's how it was. There's no other way you could do it but a direct deposit. January 1st, I got my $600. IRS just put it in my account. I didn't even know it was going to get that. You can't get no more efficient than that. It's just, what? It's just what other BS? 6 days. I'm gonna leave this one alone. I leave that one alone. Boom. Let me see. Ain't that what Trump's to promote to buy American? Funny how that's an executive order, which it shouldn't be in the first place as well, too. But that's what Trump been saying for the last 4 years. But again, it's just weird how people don't look at these things. Executive order to call evaluation of Trump housing policies. Yeah. Get your ass off of not being on the government. That's where you should be, but he stopped that. So, okay. Relying and gain my tax money. Stop the reliance on private prisons. Oh, you're going to be all run by government. Oh, we see how that works with the unions making all the money they make. Right? But again, I'm indifferent on that one. Travel sovereignty. We'll get to that one. Instead of all the denouncing anti-Asian, discriminatory, and xenophobia, whatever. This one is the one that is kind of so stupid. So because he said the China virus and all that stuff, like why do we need a damn thing for that? Executive order. You just did one up there. You do another one to come back. Again, I'm gonna get into this because it's crazy. There's a video about that. It's just that even from CNBC himself, which I was surprised, talk about it. Science integrity. Oh, that's not gonna do nothing. Potential council on science. Now again, that's not gonna do nothing. So you're gonna make a government bureaucracy gonna say, well, that science is not right. That science is right. We already don't see it. Remember, I'll give you an example. As you see right there, you're going to see with the hypocrisy again, but I'll give you an example. Remember, climate change is the exact science. We need to know about this. Okay. Let's believe the science. Climate change, we believe the science. Okay. Man and a woman. No, we don't want to believe that science. So you're going to pick and choose which science it is, even though one's a fact and one is still a theory. Ethereal. Just crazy. And of course, they put us back into the whole HWO, which also we give money to them and they take the money and waste it. And we already know how that works. Surprise? Not really. So remember the one he signed up here about the transgender stuff. Like again, I don't care for that stuff. But remember, he's supposed to be. He's like, as they just stated. Remember, the ladies, we have our first female, financial and all this stuff, female, women, blah blah blah. He just signed something that goes against women, and for people. So let's listen to that. Yes, it's Fox News. Like I said, you saw me use NBC, Fox News, The Hill. I use all different sources. I'm not not in a bubble like most people. I like listening to different thoughts.
Executive orders was to allow transgender athletes to participate in girls' sports. Quoting his order, children should be able to learn without worrying about whether they will be denied access to the restroom, the locker room, or school sports. So let's talk about the real-world impact of this action with a track athlete from Danbury, Connecticut, Alana Smith, and Alliance Defending Freedom Legal Counsel, Christiana Holcomb. Welcome to both of you.
And these, like I said, a black girl. Remember, we go for equality for, this is a black girl.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to start by playing something that your mom, Alana, said about you going into competition under these circumstances. Here's what she said.
Alana and I were talking about what her strategy was going to be for the day. And she looked at me and said, Mom, it really doesn't matter because I'm running against the boys today. I won't win.
So Alana, what kind of position does this put you in as a biologically born female athlete?
You're female.
It's really disappointing because I know that me and all the other biological females work really hard at track practice, and we work hours a day just to shave off tenths of a second for our times, and it's just really disappointing to know who's going to win the race before it even starts.
Going on, the ACLU says this. Their deputy director for transgender justice states that attempt to bar trans girls from sports, regardless of age or of transition, medical intervention, or anything else, with the new federal administration will now be risking lawsuits by the federal government, Justice Department intervention, and the loss of federal funding. So where does the legal fight go here, Christiana?
Well, this order is an irresponsible abuse of power. It is unlawful, and it effectively eviscerates women's sports for young women like Alana. Look, we already know what the impact of these policies are. We've seen it play out in Connecticut, where 2 biological males have swiped 15 women's state championship titles over the course of just a few seasons.
And also, let me add to this too. Those guys who are black males who pretend to be, who are women, all right? They say they're women, okay, whatever. That's what they're feeling, and I think it's unfair that they do this to to the women. Here's the thing that killed me though. I'm gonna give you 2 facts right here. All right. apologize for the little noise, just connecting stuff up. But I'll give 2 facts right here. One, which make me dislike these boys more. When they get interviewed, they broke the record. They shattered the records and got 15 record titles that a woman would never, a woman, a female athlete in that state of Connecticut would never break unless they strip them away. But when they're interview, they have, and they do. At first I was like, they have the balls to say this. Well, wait a minute, I forgot. They're dudes. They do have the balls to say this. They said that those girls are just whining. They're just because they're not better. They should practice harder. I'm like, wow, really, dude, really, dudes. That's what y'all saying, which is disrespectful to the females. They should practice harder, dude. You literally have a jet plane and going against a propter plane. It's not the same. You have a motorbike and she has a pedal bike. That's not the same. No matter what she does, she will never get up to you who have a motorbike. That's disrespectful. That's messed up, man. That's what they said. 1 and 2. I forgot the name of the athlete. My digression. I remember the name, but I thought I remember the name, but I forgot it right now. So I don't want to do another dead space. The lady who won more titles than Usain Bolt, the fastest woman in the world, the fastest woman, a black woman. Proud of her. Shout out for her. She did it. Here's, just like with Serena Williams as well too. Here's a funny thing. She's the fastest woman in the world. Do you know there's 350 boys in high school who can beat her? Because there is a difference. It's unfair to the females that you're letting men run against them. Unfair. That's literally unfair. But nobody wants to talk about that. The same thing with Serena Williams. I got a video about that. With Serena Williams, like, hey, we could beat any man, whatever, when she was young. And she got humbled. And then you see she's done videos many times. I don't want to play with the men. They're faster, they're stronger, but she had that attitude a little bit until she got humbled by the 250th guy, I think. Yeah, the 250th guy beat her. I'm like, not the number 1 ranking, the 250th ranking guy beat her. That's unfair. But that's what he signed into, whatever. So there's gonna be a lot of women now. Y'all gonna miss out your scholarships and some of your stuff because of this, which is stupid. It is stupid. But let's get back to the story.
So this will have a devastating impact on women's sports if it's allowed to proceed.
Yes, it will.
I want to read something from one of the transgender athletes who has been at the center of a lot of these conversations and cases, saying running has been so important for my identity, my growth as a person, and my ability to survive in a world that discriminates against me. It's Andrea Yearwood. I'm thankful that I live in Connecticut where I can be treated as a girl in all aspects of life and not face discrimination at school. So a lot.
Which is a lie. Which is a lie. Really, it is. Running is your thing. Well, run with the boys. You were born a boy. Run with the boys. Oh, you will lose. So you rather cheat.
What is your message to these athletes who say this is an important part of their life and their identity?
What about the female's identity?
I just want them to realize how unfair the situation was. Like, for example, at regionals, on freshman year, I should have gotten a silver medal. Instead, I received a bronze. And it's not really about the medal or the placement, but it's about knowing that all my hard work paid off. Because like I said, we spend hours a week training just to shave off the tiniest amount of seconds for our times. Mm-hmm. And it's just really disappointing to know that our hard work isn't really paying off how it should be.
I want to point that out. See all these medals that she's won. She won all these medals, looking all great. And a guy just come and took it away. Unfair. Unfair.
And I know there are scholarships that are in play a lot of times. It's competitive. You're talking about a college education or the ability to get help with that. I want to play something from Kara Dansky from the Women's Human Rights Campaign. She is pretty far left, a feminist who would describe herself as very far left. This is what she said earlier tonight when talking with Tucker Carlson.
What this will have the impact of doing is obliterating women and girls' sex-based rights at a federal level. This is rank misogyny, and it is coming from the left. Two, there is a tremendous amount of money.
So, Christiana, this has been one of those things that we talk about. It's so interesting to see groups coming together from far left, far right, across the spectrum, coming together to stand up and say, as women's rights advocates, so they may disagree on all kinds of other things like abortion and, workplace issues. They agree here that they think that this is fundamentally unfair to women. But this is an administration. We have our first female vice president. President Biden has talked quite a bit about women's rights and wanting to respect them.
Whoopee.
And yet, as we saw with this executive order, the Biden administration has sent a very clear message to young women like Alana. You don't matter. Your athletic opportunities, your scholarship opportunities do not matter. And if a biological male identifies as female, he's welcome to sideline you in your own sport. So this is not something the American people want. As you mentioned, people on the right and the left agree. It's simply not fair to displace young women in their own sports.
Alana, what do you want to say to folks out there who are listening to this debate, this conversation following these court cases, about what this means for you and your future?
It means everything to me, considering that I want to run in college and I even want to go pro, and to know that some girls won't be able to make it to states or regionals because only the top 6 or 8 can go, and the transgender athletes are taking up spots. It's really disappointing because, I was lucky enough to go to regionals and states, but I know that there's other biological females that weren't able to. So I just hope that they realize that our sport should be fair.
Can't say anything. Can't say anything negative against that. That is, I wish you the best, my dear. Again, females. Before the females, no, you're not. Not really. Not really. You're not. Oh, and I did forget something. It's still relevant to what it is, but I want to bring up something as well too. Like I talked about it and I didn't went into it in detail, but I'm going to finish up pretty soon. Because again, I try to make the show at least about 2 hours at the most. So remember what I talked about the apps. Again, remember, as from the previous topic. So it's not only your Facebook, your Google, and all this stuff that could, and Silicon Valley could do what it could do. Also, like I said, the app stuff. So they had an app called E-Trade, as the guy brought up, E-Trade and all, and Robinhood. It's funny that these companies listened to their overbearings and they said, "Oh, they stop you from buying a stock. Now you can sell the stock, and if you sell the stock, you help the billionaires. Funny enough, again, you help them make the money, but you can't buy the stock." I thought you were Robinhood. I thought you said you were for the small investors. I think Robinhood right now, and I literally, we had a conversation on the site after the site chat talking about Robinhood. I was like, yeah, I've heard good things about Robinhood, blah blah blah, like 2 weeks ago. I'm not using Robinhood because if they could stop me from making money, that's kind of unfair. I give you money and you gonna try to take money from me. Basically, Robinhood, seriously, you have, all I can say is you have one thing that's, and again, people, Robinhood, funny how and again, remember, Robinhood did not steal from the rich and give to the poor. They steal from the corrupt. But people keep on thinking, no, it was corrupt. John was the king. He was corrupted. But you know what? The best they could do is Robinhood is this.
Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes!
Thanks for taking my money, asshole.
That's for you, Robinhood. I think you have messed up, and I am not surprised. You should crumble. If you do stuff this blatantly and this despicable, yeah, nobody should use you. It's funny now. I don't see it. It's funny enough with you. I used to see some apps. Sometimes I used to see some what do you call it? Some ads about Robinhood. I ain't seen it in the last 3 days now. Go into hiding, have you? And remember, and now going into this last video, I just want to let people understand this as well too. Look. It's all about money. It's always been about money. Money is a part of human nature. Greed, everything. It's all about that. No matter what power you have, is all contains other money. As I play, I'll play a little bit.
Use it to unlock the door on the inside and let you in, as opposed to breaking in.
Okay, fair enough. That's interesting. Wow, but yeah, and the other thing, so you're the sort of person that has this power and you don't want to use it to mess with the election?
I want money.
You threw out a tweet from Donald Trump on election day?
That won't
get me money.
Early in the morning?
But I want money.
That's true. It wouldn't get you money, but man, you could have an effect on the election.
I don't want an effect. I want money.
Exactly, and that's what those guys are. And that goes in. Let's go now. That going to our last segment of the night. Okay, last segment of the night will be this. As I stated, I've said it before.
15th, 20.
A lot of people need to understand certain things, which is this. Again, Biden has been in Congress, has been in government for 47 years. Really, add 4, whatever. All right? You see his track record. You literally could see his track record, but people still voted for him. That's not my call. Like I said before, I don't tell people who to vote for. But I think a lot of people have buyer's remorse now. See, you had transparency. Good or bad, it was transparency. Now we don't have that. We had some rules that was working up for good or bad. The policies was great. His attitude was not great. Now we're going back. Now that you know how the media's gone back to doing game bukkake now. Seriously, if you don't know what that is, you don't look it up. But basically, the news media has gone. I remember news media is corporations, just like you saw MSNBC just push for regulations on a stock. You saw it. That's what I say. These guys are in their own bubbles, and they're going to do the best for themselves. Human nature. So they're good with the whole. Let's put it up there. Put your chin up there, man. Yeah. Well, let me play this for you again. I am not saying I told you so, because that's not me. I let the guy does it, but let you hear the contrast. I want to see the contrast. And a man has only been in the office for a week. Just what, a week? Wow. A week. That's what he's been in there for. But again, let's go with this.
October 15th, 2020. We're 8 months into this pandemic, and Donald Trump still doesn't have a plan to get this virus under control. I do. He said he had a plan, guys. People voted for him simply because of this. But now, this is Joe's tune. There is nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months. But
And to stop in, I've said that too. Trump was also wrong about that. We're going to have to live with this virus. Sad but true. We're going to have, this genie is not, again, this toothpaste is not going back into that tube. It's already out. You're going to have to live with it. But again, I've said multiple times, wear your mask, be careful, protect your family. If you have comorbidities, protect yourself. I have a friend right now who's going through some problems, and she has comorbidities, and she got the virus, and what she explained to me, it sucks bad. It does. So protect yourself. But only you can make the decision. Do not listen to the government making a decision. That's why I wanted them to give you the facts. My advocacy was just give us the numbers, the true numbers. Just give us the facts. CNN. Remember when I showed you CNN put the death mark on the side? Go to CNN right now. They don't put the death tally on the side no more. Why? Because we have the guy we want in there now. Jeez, I'm telling you, news media, both Republicans and Democrats, Hollywood, TVs, Emmys, music, all those guys held America hostage. Held America hostage so they could get what they want. And I think that's really despicable. Really despicable. You know, before even I go into this, let me see if I can find I'm gonna see if I can find that video quick. I'm sorry. Because it's just one of those things where you got to prove I'm proving my point. I gotta prove my point because it's just bad. Literally, it's just bad. I don't think I'll find it as quick as I want. But nope, because remember, to help people, whatever, but I don't think I'll find a video as quick as I want. Oh, is it this? I think I did find it quick. Oh, good. So let me switch over for something else again. One man show here, people. One man show. But I want to play something for you, just to see how things are. I want to show this to you on the screen. All right. This is why I said hold hostage, and I think it's despicable. Well, you see what you see on the screen right there. I'm gonna expand a little bit. You might cover me off a little, cover me up, but I wanted you to see. Okay. She deleted the tweet, but again, it's funny how people they can freeze this stuff before it gets crazy because they find out, oh, this is gonna be crazy. It is vital that the government remains restrictive on business until after the November election because economic recovery will help Trump to be reelected. Few business closures and job losses is a small price to pay to be free from his presidency. Hashtag keep us closed. That was AOC. Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. There you go. That, to me, is more disrespectful. This was May of 2020. That you would say that. You would say that. You see that on your screen. That's the part I feel despicable about. But let's get back to the video at hand. But again, I'm just proving out what it is. They held it at hostage just to get the power that they want. And that's bad. That's horrible. And that's why you see right now, you can see again with the GameStop stock, people starting to break, they're trying to break this thing. Now you see all the oligarchy come up and say, hey, let's stop doing that now. But let's continue with the double talk on hypocrisy.
Your voters, you had a plan. Was that just a lie, or was that your brain misfiring again?
And that won't.
Tyler Zed, welcome to Zeducation. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. If you are new to this series, number 10, subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications.
I'll skip to this.
On to today's list.
Full coverage for just $39 a month.
Ready. Of course, you have to do it. Forgot.
Age well. Number 10. Along with the pandemic, another very big thing in the run-up to the election was Black Lives Matter and social justice. But not long after the election,
before I got just a caveat. Remember, y'all give Ice Cube crap. You get a little. I saw an article today which is so stupid from Yahoo News. Geez, they're like Lil Wayne, how Lil Wayne's a sellout and all that stuff. And I'm like, he bowed down to Trump, whatever. Here's the thing, though. He got pardoned. He ain't gotta go to jail. Let me get this straight. People who can't do something, but somebody could do something for me. I'm going with the guy who could get me out of jail. Yeah. And funny enough, remember, Snoop Dogg, you dogged out Donald Trump all for 4 years. Even though he did get your friend out of jail, because Snoop Dogg know Biden was not going to do it because Snoop Dogg tried to get Obama to do it. It didn't happen. A lot of black celebrities black people unfairly, whatever that was charged, Trump pardoned. Where's the fanfare? The thing with Rocky, with Cy Stallone did the same thing, and people are like, oh, you're using these black people to be, well, they're free. They don't care. They're free. But again, Snoop's like, oh, yeah, get my friend out. Yeah, wow. Again, the hell has no fury for what's going on for disloyal people. But that's what it is.
Black Lives Matter was not happy with Joe Biden and Kamala, tweeting things like this in December.
The night of their victory, we sent Joe Biden and Kamala Harris a letter requesting a meeting. It has now been 32 days, and we have yet to receive a response. To set up a meeting with civil rights leaders without BLM is unacceptable.
And I included this one because I want to know, did Joe Biden, did Kamala, did they contact you guys yet? And if they haven't, I'm not surprised at all, because this is what politicians do. They latch on to organizations like Black Lives Matter, and they use them to pander to voters.
Useful idiots.
It seems like that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be too disappointed. Number 9. Back in December, tribal leaders are optimistic about Biden. Hallen nomination, a good start.
Remember that executive order about the tribal stuff like I was telling you about? Oh, they're not happy.
The federal government may not have a stellar track record when it comes to keeping promises with Native Americans, but tribal leaders in Arizona said they think President-elect Joe Biden could be the exception. And in the first week, that did not age well. The Ute Indian tribe does not mince words in their response to Interior's restricting federal energy development. Your order is a direct attack on our economy, sovereignty, and our right to self-determination. Maybe Joe Biden is not the exception. Yikes. But hey, again, we told you that. Number 8. Congratulations to President Biden. Not too long after that, Biden voters like this quickly changed their tune. Biden admin freezes Trump HHS rule meant to lower insulin prices. The rule has...
Oh, yeah, I did forget that part. I forgot we were going through the list because I did went over because most of it was in the COVID stuff. But yeah, he did freeze that, which is not aging well. Yeah, remember, he was supposed to help the small man. Again, this is one. There are a couple ones like I said that I read in the second. There was like, why would you? That don't make sense. But here's one of them.
Freezes Trump HHS rule meant to lower insulin prices. The rule has been put on hold for 60 days pending review. Voters who were congratulating Biden were quickly saying things like this. I am really saddened by the fact that price of insulin is really shooting up in America. It's a life-saving hormone. If people can't afford it, how are they going to survive? While other users were saying,
my friend who voted for...
people can't afford it.
Same person. See?
How are they going to survive? While other users were saying,
my friend who voted for Biden because she didn't like Trump's mean tweets just told me she was devastated that Biden just raised her insulin prices that Trump had lowered. Yes, really.
Hey guys, at least we got rid of the mean tweets. Orange man mean tweets are gone. But now, you're paying higher prices for a life-saving drug, unfortunately. Number 7.
Funny how that works. Again, cronyism. I've said it.
Number 7, we go to some unions who actually endorsed Joe Biden, who quickly regretted endorsing Joe Biden when Joe Biden did this on his first day. Biden to cancel Keystone XL pipeline in Inauguration Day executive order. And here are some unions that endorsed Joe Biden, and here's their reaction after he did this. Together, we helped push Joe Biden and Kamala Harris over the top. Victory! After the Keystone pipeline canceling, pipeline construction has been a lifeline for many LIUNA members across the country. The anticipated decision to cancel the Keystone pipeline will kill thousands of good-paying union jobs. Hey, you helped get him elected. Here's another union. United Association of Union Plumbers and Pipe Fitters endorses Vice President Joe Biden for president. And after the Keystone canceling, Keystone XL decision will raise energy costs for American families.
Duh.
You, as the union who endorsed Joe Biden and helped get him elected, you did that. Congratulations. And here are some individuals who are losing their jobs. Thanks for killing my job on the pipeline. You were a waste of a vote. I'd rather have Trump. At least I was able to work. Ignorance is bliss until it's not. I hope you find another job. It's really sad that he's getting rid of it, but you should have known better.
Exactly. But again, when you're in a bubble, this is what happens. Like I said before, when you're in a bubble and everybody keeps on regurgitating this stuff, you don't see the goods and bads and everything. You just see one thing and rapturous anger. That's what happens when you get in a bubble.
Another state, New Mexico, who voted for Biden, they are also regretting that decision. From the AP, President Joe Biden's 60-day moratorium on new oil and natural gas leases and drilling permits is prompting widespread concerns in New Mexico, where spending on education and other government programs hinges on the industry's success. And like I said, New Mexico voted for Biden. You get what you deserve. Sad to see it, but that's what happens. Number 5. Another thing that Joe Biden did in his first couple days in office was this. Biden executive order says schools should include transgender athletes in girls' sports. And Biden voters were not happy with that. Here's one of them who came out and scolded Biden for doing so.
Women put POTUS in the White House. Black women in particular. The same women whose girls benefit from sports scholarships. The same women who are overrepresented in the prison population. And on day one, a white man, Joe Biden, signs away their rights. Such a betrayal.
Shocking. Who did not see that coming? He literally said it in the campaign trail. But again, you're surprised? No, I am not.
Look at that. It got quite a bit of traction there, too. 4,300 likes, 1,400 retweets. Betrayal. You know, like I said, we told you so. Number 4. I'm throwing this one in there because it's just too good. It's too good. We're going to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who back in October said this and criticizing Trump. Broadcasters Joe Buck and Troy.
Which is weird because they've been doing this before Trump too. Obama did it, Clinton did. Like this was, and this ain't got to do with the presidency anyway. It's something that they do with giving them money to so to have good PR with the crowd, with the military and everything. That's what it is. So it's stupid when they said this, which was surprising. But again.
Hot on Hot Mic appearing to mock military flyovers as wasteful. They're criticizing Trump and Trump's administration for allowing flyovers. How dare they? How dare Trump allow this waste to go on? And here was their conversation that was caught on the Hot Mic. That's a lot of jet fuel to do a little flyover, Aikman is heard saying in the video. That's your hard-earned money and tax dollars at work. Buck replied in a mocking tone. That stuff ain't happening with a Kamala Biden ticket, Aikman added. I'll tell you that right now, partner. Troy, I tweeted this at you and you still haven't responded, so I hope you get back to us here. But here is football under a Biden-Kamala ticket. Here's last Sunday. Look at that, a flyover. Wow, how wasteful. What a wasteful flyover. Can you imagine the jet fuel? But Troy, you told your viewers that wasn't going to happen under Kamala and Biden. I'd really love for you to respond to this, please. Number 3. Number 3, more Biden lies. Back to the campaign trail. Biden in August. I am not banning fracking.
And we did a video about this as well, too. When he was saying that, when he went back and forth, I played the video clips. I was like, why you got... And then when he was on the debate, like, I did not say that. Yes, you did. We got video of you saying it, dude.
Kamala Harris. In October, Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. First week of his office. Biden administration. Yes, we are following through with a fracking ban. Bold-faced liars. This was a big deal on the campaign trail. They said they weren't going to do it, and they lied. Typical politicians.
Which is true. Typical politicians.
Like I said in the intro, the pandemic and COVID were the central focus of Biden and Kamala's campaign. Back in March, this is how Biden reacted to Trump's orders and how he criticized Trump for taking action during the time. March 12th, a wall will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from...
No, but it would stop people carrying the virus. That's... Oh, boy. I remember that.
We need to plan to combat it. And this was all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. The disease could impact every nation and any person on the planet, and we need to plan to combat it.
Remember, that's what he said. Remember. But, where is it? Important data and all this stuff, domestic. Yep, there you go. But he unlocked the travel ban. Let me see if we can find it for student loans, regulatory campaign, because he signed a lot of daggone executive orders that means stupid. Here's a key line permit stuff that he was just talking about, and everything with the fracking. Which is just, it's just ridiculous. Supply chain, National Guard, COVID response, because I want to show what he did. Let me see. Risk, travel ban. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there. Funny how that works, huh? Okay, you see it.
Trump was restricting travel from China and Europe. But now, after Biden criticized that, this is what he's doing. Biden on Monday will reinstate COVID travel restrictions on non-U.S. citizens who have been in Brazil, Ireland, United Kingdom, and much of Europe, a White House official tells Arlette Sands. Biden will also extend restrictions to travelers who have recently been to South Africa. Wow, how xenophobic. How xenophobic of you, Joe. I can't believe this. You hypocrites. Number one. For number one, we go to another Biden brain blip and the incompetence that his administration is already showing. This is what he came out and said when it came to the vaccines. Move heaven and earth. President-elect Joe Biden's COVID-19 plan calls for 100 million shots in the first 100 days.
And remember, the media is complicit in this. That's what it stated.
And this was his plan. But the problem with that plan is that Trump already did it. Biden's 1 million shots a day COVID-19 goal was already reached by Trump. And when confronted about this fact that this was already in place, this is how Joe responded.
Yep. Bar higher, that's basically where the U.S. is right now.
When I announced it, you all said it's not possible. Come on, give me a break, man. That's a good start. 100 million. Thank you.
Come on, man. And according to Joe, he said that when he announced his plan, journalists and everyone said it wasn't possible. But this was such a lie, because obviously Trump already did it, that even CNN fact-checked him. Facts first.
Which I'm surprised. But again, I've said it before. CNN writing is different from CNN on the TV. Some of those guys have integrity, thank goodness. But the anchors, the Don Lemons, the Chris Comans, and a lot of stuff, no, not really.
Fact check. Biden falsely claims journalists had all said his vaccination goal was impossible to meet. Yikes. How much longer can this guy last? Yeah, it's not looking good. All of this has not aged well very, very, very
quickly.
Fast. And the most popular president in U.S. history, most votes ever, this is how his approval ratings are compared to Trump and Obama. First daily presidential approval in recent history. President Biden, 48% approve. President Trump, 56 approve. President Obama, 67 approve. The lowest approval polls by far. And I wonder why. Flip-flopping in his first week, coming out and lying in his first week. What a great start, Joe. I will say it one last.
And I'll leave it because, like I said, that's what he's going with. I myself are just saying, I am not surprised. That's why I did that video on my channel talking about, I'm not surprised Joe won. I'm not, because you see it. I know that was going to happen. So I take it as it is. It sucks, but you know what? You get the cards that you're dealt, and you got to do better with your stuff. And for the people who lost, and for the bears who lost the money in the stocks, hey, I'm happy. Whatever. I don't care, because you guys have been screwing people all for the years, and they lost $70 billion. I'm cheering them on. So guys, hold the line. Don't let them bastards get that money back. Don't. And we're going to see if Joe Biden going to be fair as he is. I'm going to put regulations to hurt the small people like me and you, or help the fat cat buddies at the MSNBCs, the CNBCs, and all that stuff like that. We'll see. If he does, I will gladly report on it and let you know. Because unlike other people, I'm just tell you what it is, straight up truth and what's going on. Unlike most people who play that crazy game of, oh, I don't know. But you know what? I said, I respect, like I say, those guys out there who work that hard for that stuff, man, good for you. Really, I can't argue with that. Just happy that you guys, did that situation. So you know what? The Project Open Mic. It's not surprising that, like I said, not surprising that happened. So I apologize for that little thing. But anyway, thank you for giving me your time, your ears, your mind, and your eyes. Everybody, thank you so much for giving me your time on this. And again, share with everybody else. Again, see what's going on. Because again, I try my best not to be in a bubble. The guys where we do the side chats on the money, we don't agree on everything either. just because you want to have different opinions, different things, whatever. Because as Thomas Sowell said, that's how we learn, right? Different things. You might learn there might be a new way to think, might be a new way to invent, a new way to do stuff. I don't know. Basically, there's a Thomas Sowell documentary that's on YouTube. Guys, go check it out. I might do a little read-through of that. And also, what do you want? Because for black people, when I'm saying this, people are like, oh, it's black, I heard, whatever. Like, again, I was aware that I came from another country, worked my butt up, and work hard. But you know what? Didn't hold me back, didn't hold my sister back, didn't hold my aunt back, didn't hold my, why? And people are like, one person told me, well, because you guys are from a different country. They're like, you think the banks know that we're from a different country unless they hear our accent? No, they don't. They look and they see, oh, you have good credit. Take care of your credit. Or that your family, which is sad, a lot of mothers and fathers mess up their children's credit by using their credit to get all their stuff, which is messed up. But that's for another topic for another day. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Again, remember how the schedule is going to be. So hope you have a good weekend. If you're in the snow and stuff, be careful. Hoping you get no accidents, whatever. Take care of your families again with that pandemic what's going on. Take care of it. Join us again. Join us tomorrow if you want to join in the side chat and see things like see what's going on and see things how it works. I want to thank shout outs to Tempo FM. We have about 19,000 people watching live. Basically, it's 18,700. So I'm rounding up, but thank you guys, Tempo, for listening to stuff. And again, hope you guys share it again. It will be cool if you guys could come over and help. You can see on the YouTube channel, all we have is 24 subscribers. Come on, guys, just come over, click it, and move. You ain't got to even watch it on that. You can watch it on Tempo FM. You can watch it there, okay? Be nice about that. But it is what it is. But check out tomorrow. It's going to start at 9 o'clock. Project Open Mic is going to be start at 9 o'clock as well, too. And then on Tuesdays, there's going to be a video from Straight No Chasers every Tuesday. Go check out the last one where I talk about, hey, men, y'all complain about women. Well, here you go. Some of y'all men, that ain't the problem. You are the fault. You are the problem of it. You got to step your game up. Forget about that. Step your game only. Because, again, you go to control your hands and your feet to control yourself and the way you think your mind. And you're going to see more stuff like that as I challenge certain thinking in that regard. But other than that, again, listen to it. Tuesday, Straight No Chasers. Thursday, Project Open Mic, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock American Eastern. Also in Side Check, 9 o'clock American Eastern time. All right. So with that, guys, you know what it is. Evil comes in all shapes, color, race, creed, sex, height, gender. It made no difference. Evil's evil. As you just saw the Barons, again, I'm happy for that. The rich will get rich, but hey, sometimes you could do it. So again, President Trump, as bad as people say it is, the one thing I'm happy for you did is to reveal that curtain, and you can't get that toothpaste back in that tube. I'm happy that happened. But the rich is still gonna get rich. The poor are gonna still go for it. You see how the administration is already right now, and this is only 1 week. You're clawing. So the rich gonna get rich, the poor gonna crawl for the crumbs, and the middle class gonna get screwed over. But last but not least, you know what it is. People are stupid, individuals smart. Be that smart individual. Have a good night, guys. Peace out.